Introducing the Tech Drill, a mod made by Zarthan that can be crafted to become your underground base. Using a fully interactive UI to visualize its space, this structure seems to be offering a real different style of play, allowing you to access areas you otherwise couldn't. And with a bunch of features under the hood, let's check it out. You're right, kids, it's Raasclark, and welcome back to the Island home server, where we've just placed one down and we're going to check out what it's all about. A little note, you have to have a lot of flat space in order to place this thing down. I had to really find somewhere suitable for this, and it seems to fit pretty well here. So what does it do? We can see a terminal. Needing to have unlocked the replicator and be level 100, you can finally craft this thing, costing a pretty handsome sum of black pearls, paste, electronics, metal ingots, and of course elements. Accessing the terminal, we can see a bunch of upgrades available to us, such as cameras, electric field, player scanner, resource generation, and a tech drill module. So what do they all do, right? Let's find out together. So we'll kick off by making a tech drill module. I believe this is the first thing you need to make to do anything. So casting one of each of those resources, we can now click expand base, where the drill goes to action. It looks pretty cool. It's a nice, lovely animation. Obviously drilling into the ground, where we can see there's a bunch of different options for us to press if we press E on it. But what we can see is once done is we can press E to teleport to last module, taking us into what looks like a vacuum compartment, but very, very dark. So, and we're in a box directly underground underneath our base. Underneath the tech drill, we're actually here in a voided space with options to swap the structure variant, allowing us a bunch of different ramps for a standard box, and allowing us to add terminal to module. We are literally in the terrain. We can see a little rock there. We can see that we're directly underneath the base. We can see the names of our creatures just high enough above us over there, but seemingly no way out. Unless we add terminal to module, and then we can use that to teleport back out. Just pulling out to see if we can actually see anything. We can't, and we was down there somewhere, not exactly super sure. It was definitely below the structure anyway. So from what I understand, it literally detects the ground underneath, and you can expand from there. So by accessing the drill now, we can see a little box here that tells us where we are, that shows us our little box, shows us an X, Y, and Z on layout to get an understanding, and also a button here to teleport to module. And at the top here, we can see another option called settings that allows us to change the base size, wear and tear, and how long this thing can exist without repairing. If we want to allow turrets and dinos inside, if we want to push it underwater and allow vertical stacking, allow even dino AI inside the base, and a bunch of camera, scanner, electric field, and resource generation options, which are definitely overwhelming right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to teleport back out, and we're going to make a second one. We're going to make a second tech drill module. In making that, we can see it hasn't made a second one and connected to it, which is what the hope was. We can see all the available locations of where we can build. That's insane. But if we click on enable continuous expansion, of which you can see it allows us up to 111, as well as at least 3 for an upgrade, we can now click on expand base. She's badass. And that's going to town, drilling in, creating more space underground, I'm guessing. And let's teleport down there now. Well. And now we've got an even bigger space underneath to build in. Oh, this is brilliant. Of which we can put a bed inside, get some vault storage in here, and a tech Jenny, which is of course going to power things like a cryo fridge. And perhaps more important than anything, actual light, because, you know, you're underground. What did you expect? You need light to see underground, right? There we go. Now we can see. And I guess in its basic form, that's pretty cool. Look, we're underground. We're under our base in a secret bunker hidden away from the world. No worries, can enjoy ourselves down here. But there seems to be a lot more to this. So if we access the terminal now, we can see another module that we've made, which is further away, which I'm kind of curious where that is. And I think that's down under the sand. So let's teleport back out for a second. Let's make a few more, allowing us to expand the base even more now. Okay, so accessing the terminal, we can see that it's building anything underground where it possibly can. which is fascinating. So it's built one module over here, which is as close as it can be, but not too close, and a new one just over here, a new two just over here, but obviously expanded our base here as well. So clicking over there now, we can teleport back to our original room and see that we've got an extra module now as well. Now I'm kind of interested, if we click on settings and we click on allow virtual module stacking as well, what happens then? So that's where we are right now up here. And if we click on show available locations, it's going to show us how many modules it can build, and then it's going to default to other areas, right? So we're almost pushing the space we can use there, but we can see there's some vertical space to work with as well, and it goes bloody deep as well. Look at that. Oh, we can see already, because we've clicked on that option now, there's vertical spaces already been added. Look, and there you go. By adding verticals, we've now created even more space in here. There's the one that we can see that's poking out due to a bit of a miscalculation there, I guess, because we are right on the edge of this cliff edge, so kind of makes sense there. But the rest is down there beyond this mesh. In fact, if we go into Ghost, we can now see our base built here under the mesh. That's insane. Building a compartment over there, and it's trying to utilize and calculate. It's really impressive. It's really insane how it's using calculations to figure out where it's allowed to place it. I guess it's using the anti-mesh calculations to know exactly where it can place any of these cubes. So now we've made a bunch more. Let's see what happens now. Now right now it's only showing us one layer, but I guess if we click on show all layers, there we go, it's going to show us everything now and what's being built. And we can see now our original building, which is over here. We'll teleport to that now. Yeah, and it's giving us more space now, so we can see a new compartment up here above us. And if we want now, I guess we can change a structure type. So if we click on, if we get rid of this bed for a minute and we click on change structure variant, there we go. We've got a ramp now that takes us up to this floor. But obviously it can only build as much as the mesh will allow, right? So let's find a location where there's plenty of mesh underground and probably can make a giant size space, right? So we've picked a brand new location here that's got a lot of terrain underneath it. Again, you've got to be really careful on where you can place these things. But I'm hoping here, there's lots of space, lots of mesh underneath. I'm not limited by a cliffside, although there is kind of a cliffside there. But it's got a lot of room to grow, hopefully, underneath, right? So, oh, and it tells me as well, look, it's 729 available to craft. And how many I need for upgrades. I'm going to go with like 30 for now. And click on expand base. That's another way instead of using the pinwheel. All right, that's given us a nice square here. Let's put a terminal in the middle. Interestingly, it's light in here as opposed to the last time. And we can see here we got a nice 3x3 being made. And we can see in the settings we're allowed a 4x4x4 at the most, which looks like you can change if you want to, which I'm kind of interested about. Let's do a 6x6x6. Save that. And then I want to teleport back up now. I'm going to expand base. Holy crap. And now this has turned it into a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a 7x7 box. So this is allowing us to turn off stuff. So I can say this middle one here, turn off the front. That one there, turn off the side. So it makes a wall. It's just making walls for us if we need them for any reason. But what I want is to go down. So we can see here, like, look, I've got a full-blown space there to work with. That's insane. Look at that. I got a full-blown cube I can work with to make my own giant base underground here. Let's just make like a crap load. If we click on access terminal again. Oh, hang on. We can expand the base even more. Hold up. Hold up. Alright, so we're going to use all of these to make a giant base underground. Alright, let's teleport under there now. Oh my god! Yo! Yo! Look at this thing! Oh my god, and that's all under the base. And it's decided to push it as far as high as it can. Look at it, almost touching the terrain there. And going as low as it possibly can. to take up this area, where I imagine if you find the right terrain, you could possibly make this even bigger than this. So now we've got our base, and let's say we stored it with a bunch of things. We've got a tech rep in here now. We've got sleeping pods. We've got a forge in here. Jeez. Or a steam forge, why not, right? With so much space to work with. That's insane. Right, let's teleport back to the top. So if we access this, we can see upgrades. In upgrades, there's a bunch of things here too. So, alright, so let's craft all the cameras. Okay, so now we made the camera upgrades. We can see a new nifty camera on the outside of the drill. A bunch of them. 4 of them. Which I can now, if I teleport down to my base and access the terminal, I can click on a new surveillance option that shows us our camera. So if I click on it, oh, I can rotate the camera around, and there you go. I can cycle between the cameras. You can see there's some sort of creature. I can't tell because it's quite low poly. That's wicked. We've got a whole camera system here to cycle through. See if there's any raiders coming around in our base, coming to investigate our drill. So now we'll click on the next upgrade, which is electric field, allowing us to create a lightning storm around the drill, with its upgrades decreasing the cooldown and its duration. And there we go. And now we can see some interesting rings appearing around the thing. We can activate by holding E on the module. Holy crap, you can see, like, yeah, electric. Let's just turn it to night time. Yo! Right, I'm giving us a 6-minute timer, I guess, against anyone that's attempting to attack. So let's like bring this theory over. See what happens to that theory. Maybe it's set to players. It didn't work, okay. And now we can see we've got a player scanner upgrade that installs a radar to scan for nearby enemy players, with its tier 2 and tier 3 upgrades allowing to improve its effectiveness and its radius. So I'm guessing if we go down to the bottom, that's cool. And we access the terminal. If we click on surveillance now, we can see a radar that's telling us any players that are nearby. That's wicked. And we can see our lightning, our force field going off. Obviously, there's only me because it's single player, so it's not going to detect no one right now. But that's super cool. And perhaps the big one that's definitely worth checking out this mod for is resource generation, allowing you to drill and generate resources over time. What the hell? So we'll install that now. And then it's upgrades. So that's all the upgrades installed now. And now if you press E and click on start drilling for resources. Bad. Oh, it's making a cool drilling noise. And it'll generate items in 4 minutes. Okay. Oh, look, there's a whole lot of dust cloud forming around. Oh, that there is actually getting attacked by the force field. Dude, the whole floor's like, you can hear it rumbling. What the hell? It's literally an earth mover. What? Okay, that's just finished drilling and there's now started a new drilling generation. So I'm guessing... Yeah, there it is. There's the resources in there. Which obviously isn't a lot kicking off, but allow this to run over time. You're laughing. Which, if we teleport down and we access the terminal down in our base, we can see the resources down here, which is great because there you go. We've got resources now. We can get our metal out, slap it into our forge. Job's a good one. It's 2 metal burning, but it'll be more metal burning as time ticks on. This is badass, man. Obviously, this is generating a bunch of ideas. The biggest one being it just simply creates a wealth of spaces to build in now. And yeah, I think it's going to be a bit niche because it is a premium mod, and you know, to use it in a cool PvP scenario, everybody needs to own the mod. So it's a really interesting logic that it knows I'm underground, yet I'm not getting teleported out the mesh, even though if I exited, as you just saw then, I would get teleported out of the mesh, but the game's logic knows that it's okay. I've built here. It's fine to use how we wish. And we can use this system to basically create our multi-tier base. So, which one? This one, for example. And we clicked on top. We should have, there it is there. We've got a floor there now. But I guess what we could do... Oh, we could swap it to a door. Oh, that's bad. Or we can toggle it off pretty easy there instead if we want to. And we can just make a ramp now to go all the way up. If we click on the terminal now, there we go. Oh, wow, it shows you what you've turned into ramps and stairs. So we can now go up a layer. Oh, yeah, we're upside down, aren't we? I keep forgetting. Okay, so we'll go up a layer. And we'll say this cube here now. Put something on the top. Come out of that. And then that's made a block there. So I want to now make a ramp along here. So I want to ask it to rotate the structure in there. So let's try 90 degrees rotation. Oh my god. Okay. So it rotates what's ever built inside of it. That's insane, man. Okay, right, apply that again. Yo! Okay, so we've turned it the wrong way, but this is illustrating that any structures of the structure pieces you can make, you can build all manners of different designs using this. That's wild. So if I go up to this one, right? So I'll add a structure there. We turn that into a ramp. And then we go up to our crazy fandangled box here. But this time, we rotate it the right way. So we'll rotate it 90 degrees. No. 45 degrees that way. Ooh, no. 90 degrees that way. Okay, so that's facing the right way now. So then we'll go 45 degrees like that. What's this scale? That's... You can't scale the actual structure in this. Oh my god! So I don't need to build individual ramps. So is that made like some giant ass... Yo! What? That's wild. Oh, wow. So I was wondering for a second there, I couldn't put a ceiling there, and it's because the forge is there and it detects it. It's not until you select something else that it comes down. There we go. Right. So we've now selected 3. What's a bit confusing is when you select something, it goes, it's highlighted so it gets a bit bigger, which can throw you off thinking it's not as level as it should be, but I finally get it. So now we've just made a little 3 part of our next level up here now. So there's a limit on how far you can push this stuff. And it might look a bit off here, but yeah, that's what we're going for, man. Just a bit of a support there. And we've stretched the pillar out. That's crazy. Look at that. Okay, so back to it again. There we go. Yeah, and now we've made a pillar support for our second level. How cool is that? And look, we've stretched the pillar to make it do the job. And you know what? It doesn't look too daft. It doesn't look too warped or anything. It looks like part of the feature. So now we've had a whole second floor up here now. What? And creating plenty of space for our base. Like there's like space for days. We can continue doing this and have a giant amount of space for, you know, at least a solo player. There's enough space in here, right? Don't forget, by accessing our terminal, we can see all the resources that we've been grinding. There we go, which will build up over time. Can we change the amount of resources you can? Resource regeneration. Oh my god. Okay, so you can change the resource generation then to, I don't know, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do like some crazy amount in effectiveness. Save settings now. Now let's watch it. But so you can customize this to generate as many resources as you want. Yeah, and obviously, you know, depending on if you want a balanced game or not or what, this could just generate resources for you till the end of time. Metal, crystal. I'm kind of curious. Well, no, that's it. That's all the minerals, isn't it? That's all the harvestable stuff that you'd be able to harvest from rocks and that. Rocks, flint, obsidian, oil, metal, and crystal. That's right, yeah. So I don't think it matters where you put this. You're going to get these resources no matter what. And there's a lot of customizable features with this that you can do. So, you know, as you might have noticed, we can select multiple at once. Let's do them, for instance. And then we'll say have a frontage to them, of which I'll only do the ones it's allowed to because of the replicator blocking it. So there we go. We've just changed it. If we press R now, we can toggle it to different setups. So we can change all of those walls that we just selected at the same time to now doors. I like it. It's obviously, it's limited, as I said before. It's got some limits that in what it should be used for in a PvP scenario, it means everyone has to own the mod for it to be useful. It is a freemium mod, so I guess, you know, you could be on servers where you've got to be owning this thing if you want to be competing in PvP. But it's got a lot of potential, man. I think in solo or PvE, I'm not so sure because, you know, to make any of this stuff, it's pretty expensive. It's a lot of elements. It's a lot of metal. It's a lot of tech. But it definitely opens up the elements of a new type of extended PvP experience, allowing literally anywhere underground to be built to create your own cave bases, because that's the problem, right? So many people build it in caves because that's their game. If they had one structure to defend, would that be an improved offering over building in caves instead? Just having one of these to defend instead. How much health does it have? It's obviously a tech piece with 100,000 health. I'm curious, so what happens if I do take it out? So taking its health, there we go, we are right. So what happens if we destroy the whole thing? Being tech as well, I imagine C4 won't be as useful. Yeah, so you need to destroy these with tech weapons only. Oh right, okay, so once you've hit 25% damage made, the drill becomes accessible to enemies. So now any enemy that's done that amount of damage can now teleport in, has access to your base, which is interesting. And once it's hit that low health, its multiplier goes insane. But I want to know. Oh, the terminal remains. Okay. With all of the... Okay, so all of the resources are still there. I can't destroy this. But is it only because the resources are there? Can't expand base. So let's throw out all the resources now that's been made. So we're just left with a crazy terminal that we can't do nothing with. Doesn't show anything. Oh, and it's all gone underneath. Yeah, that's interesting, man. Definitely opening up some ideas. It's going to take a serious PvP cluster to want to adopt this. But if someone does, I could see this taking off. I really could. Definitely opens up some ideas. Definitely opens up some gameplay opportunities. Definitely refreshes some PvP experiences. And maybe, possibly a way of getting PvPers out of caves. I don't know, what do you think? Comment below, let me know. Until the next one, my name's Raasclark. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, peace out.